An assortment of injuries that we don't usually see.
New Year's Eve, a busy night for first responders, treating injuries from fireworks and putting out brush fires. Plus, multiple people are dead after a powerful earthquake rocks Japan. A look at the damage and rescue efforts.
From Hawaii News Now, this is breaking news.
And happening now at 5, a massive manhunt on Oahu comes to a violent end. HNN sources say the suspect is shot by police and 2 officers are injured and rushed to the hospital. You're looking at a live look at the scene where the shootout occurred. Now, police have been looking for Sydney Tafokitau for a couple weeks now. He was wanted in several violent crimes, but today he was allegedly involved in a highway shooting near the H1 in Halava that left a woman in serious condition. EMS arrived at the scene at around 7:15, where they found a 39-year-old woman, possibly someone with a relationship to Tafokitau, with several gunshot wounds. Officials say she needed advanced life support but is listed in serious condition. Tafokitau has been named the suspect in 2 other shooting cases, the first in Nu'uanu in October, for which he was charged with weapons offenses. Now, he was released on bail and was later named a suspect in a December 16th shooting in Kalihi about 5 hours after this morning's shooting. Heavy armed police closed off a section of Kalihi Street at North King, where the department said he fired at plainclothes officers trying to apprehend him. Now, from there, he went to the windward side, where he crashed into a vehicle at the intersection near Temple Valley Shopping Center. Erin Valentine took these pictures moments before she allegedly became his next victim of carjacking.
I watched him climb out of the driver's side window, and there was just something about the way he was acting that immediately just had like all the hairs raising on the back of my head, because he didn't seem like, oh my God, I just got hit. You know, he's just very calm, cool, collected. He had a long rifle. I don't know what kind it was. And as soon as my mom saw it, she backed away from him very quickly. And he started walking around my car, the front of my car, to the driver's side. And I was trying to lock the door while on the phone with 911 saying he has a gun. I think I'm about to be carjacked, something like that. I can't even remember now. But he opened up the car door and just lifted up the gun straight to my face and just said, "Get out." And I just looked at him and he was like, "Get out." That's all he said.
Now, she was not hurt. Tafokitau fled in her white Scion. While all this played out all day, the police department did not issue any information to the media or alert the public to potential danger of an armed fugitive crossing the island. We relied on our law enforcement sources and reports from witnesses. Now, our Daryl Huff just got to the scene. He's been following the manhunt all day and joins us live with the latest. Daryl, what can you tell us?
Ash, what we've got here on University Avenue is really a massive crime scene. It runs all the way up from, you can see behind me, that's Dole Street up there in the University area. This is University Avenue, and you can see there's multiple police vehicles. There are vehicles off to the side of the road that are being held. It's hard to say at this point if these are police vehicles, undercovers, or whether they are civilians that have been held up because they're witnesses. But I'm going to walk around and show you exactly how big this is. Now, again, this is University Avenue. The on-ramp to the highway from University Avenue is closed. They've got cars there. All the way down University Avenue here, down by the old Varsity Theater building. Those of you who are old enough will remember when that was a theater building, Varsity Place. Near Varsity Place, there is a van that's been kiltered up on the sidewalk. There are also officers up on the freeway. So what some people are theorizing here, even though I haven't been able to talk to anybody who actually saw anything, and of course we haven't heard from police all day on this except for a brief Crime Stoppers alert at about 2:30, is that it's possible that the suspect jumped out of his car up on the freeway and ran, potentially down there to Varsity Circle and potentially all the way back up here. Like I say, this is a huge crime scene. Tremendous number of people who have been dislocated by this. Some of them are complaining about not being able to get to their homes, but this is a massive case that, as you said, has gone all the way around the island and all the way back here. Just an incredible turn of events that this man managed to evade police all the way up to the North Shore, back down around, and ends up back here in the University District, basically in the middle of town. We don't have much right now. We're waiting to hear from police. If we get anything new, we'll have it for you at our next newscast. Reporting live from University Avenue, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Daryl. And the hours-long manhunt has led to several road closures across Oahu. Our Jonathan Masaki is here to break it down. Jonathan.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to zoom in on our map to show you where Darrell is right now and the roads that are affected as we speak. So this is right by the University Avenue area, and it includes University Avenue, Metcalf to King, including Dole. You see the red line right there, totally shut down right now. But that's not the only shutdown in town right now. We also have a little bit further down in the Kaimuki area, the road closure due to that criminal investigation, Alohea, between Edna and McCorriston. Okay, so that's also remaining an active criminal scene as we speak. Now, taking you back to our live cam right now, this is University and Dole. As you can see, a lot of activity taking place right now because of this investigation. It's best to just totally stay away from that area. Many surface streets can take you around that area, but again, avoid this specific area for right now. And we'll give you the most complete details as it becomes available to us. First alert traffic here on Hawaii News Now. Ash, back to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And of course, stay with Hawaii News Now for the latest on this developing story. We'll have more details on air and online. One night meant for celebrating the new year turned into a night at the hospital for 8 Oahu residents, including 3 children. Jonathan Masaki has more on the serious injuries caused by fireworks in the last 24 hours.
Ringing in 2024, like in years past, looked and sounded like this. Sadly, in the mix of this illegal aerial fireworks, there were 8 very serious injuries, to include the 3 keiki.
I would say 6 of those 8 were severe. They were disfiguring, and probably will have lifelong changes for those 6 people, whether it's a loss of a limb or permanent loss of vision in an eye.
Included in the injury report is one reported prior to New Year's Eve. According to EMS, a 6-year-old boy was burned after fireworks hit him in the legs. A 14-year-old girl suffered multiple injuries to her arms, legs, and face after fireworks exploded in a room she was in. And a 10-year-old boy suffered severe injuries to his hand following a firework blast that also burned his upper body.
It's horrific. And again, these are permanently disfiguring injuries. So it's just very, very sad.
Other injuries include a 65-year-old man and a 35-year-old man who both suffered eye injuries. A 67-year-old man suffered a deep cut to his forearm from an explosion, and a 20-year-old man sustained a hand injury after a firework blast.
If there is good news here, the good news is there was less significant injuries than last year, from 12 to 8.
On the HFD side of the camp, there was a significant increase of incidents that firefighters responded to.
So this year we had 23 fireworks-related fires. Last year we had 8, so we actually had more. The good news is that they weren't significant. They didn't reach to alarm status.
Captain Song also says that things could have been worse and stresses the malama everyone needs to have for each other when emergencies arise.
My message to the public was let's just take care of each other. So one of the structure fires was caused by an aerial that landed on the roof. We had a very similar fire last year, and luckily 911 was called immediately. So that fire was contained to the roof.
Both Ireland and Song continue to ask for the public to be on alert. New Year's Eve may have come and gone, but there still may be those out there still wanting to celebrate 2024. Jonathan Masaki, Hawaii News Now.
To international news, Japan is warning residents of coastal areas not to return home because of the possibility of a tsunami after a powerful earthquake. The magnitude 7.5 quake centered off central Japan's west coast left at least 6 people dead, and the search is still on for more possible victims. Now, Japan issued its highest level tsunami alert after the event, but that has since been lowered. People in stores, offices, and subways felt the impact of the quake, which collapsed houses, cracked roadways, and disrupted electricity.
An earthquake this big is going to continue to have aftershocks. It could easily have aftershocks bigger than magnitude 6, so that's going to be a hazard in its own right.
Western Japan seems to have avoided the same scale of disaster suffered during the 2011 Fukushima earthquake and tsunami.
And a first alert, taking a closer look at some of the aftershocks within the last half hour or so. We've been seeing about 4.2, and we've been seeing a number of those. So a lot of shaking still happening for our friends and family over in Japan. Here's a closer look at tsunami energy right at the fault line. We're seeing a lot of that energy pick up the water that we're seeing. The Earth's plates rub together, causing an underwater earthquake at times. You could see all of that water vertically lifted, and the earthquake causes a vertical vertical push of the seawater that we saw there. And then a wall of energy continues to spread. As the wave spreads into shallower waters, it grows in height, and that's what a tsunami is. So we're seeing more seismic activity there. Back here at home, very quiet. We are going to be seeing quiet conditions the next couple of days for this new year. I'll take a deeper look at that coming up shortly.
Thank you, Jen. Well, coming up, the new year means Hawaii's minimum wage workers are getting a raise. Plus, Hawaii's comic book creators team up on a project to help Maui's recovery. We'll be right back.